Hi everybody, Dean Kulawira, IT recruiter at SRA Staffing, doing a job search video. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. I know we're reaching the end of the week, but it's not time to take your foot off the gas. I want you to keep it pressed down, keep going full speed until the end of the week, and even over the weekend. To be very frank with you, that's what I believe. Keep it going. If you're in job search mode, you still got a job. Your new job is to find a job, right? And what I want to do is provide you with tips and advice and tricks and every edge I can possibly provide you with, practical tips, practical advice, things that you can implement in your job search and give you that added advantage when you are in front of a decision maker or an interviewer or a recruiter or whoever it is. So what I wanted to touch on today is, like, I got a message from a candidate, and it was a really nice message about how he watches my videos and when he's feeling demotivated and stuff like that. But basically, what he was telling me is that sometimes, so I'm paraphrasing the message, but sometimes when nobody's responding, it feels really disheartening. But you always come up with a positive attitude, whether or not there's something for me or not. I've been in touch with many recruiters, nobody even replies, but you and your videos always bring positivity. So look, I really appreciate that feedback. I get a lot of feedback from candidates reaching out to me all the time, giving feedback on my videos, my articles, my job search tips that I post on a regular basis. So I really appreciate that. And look, I totally understand the feeling of grief and depression when you're applying for jobs and roles, you're not getting responses. You're reaching out to recruiters, you're not getting responses. You're going for interviews and you're not getting any feedback or responses. And you know what? Sometimes they reject you and they don't tell you why, and then you don't have any information to improve on and stuff like that. So I completely understand it. There's gonna be a lot of that at some point in your job search. You're gonna experience that, unfortunately. Now, the first thing, so what I want to advise you on, and I'm gonna kind of parallel this advice with what I experience on a regular basis as a recruiter as well, is if you don't have a full pipeline of opportunities, you're gonna end up feeling down and depressed and frustrated and all of those emotions. And I've experienced that as a job seeker myself, and I also experienced that as a recruiter in a certain respect over the course of my recruiting responsibilities. Right now, let's say that I'm recruiting on a role, I'm reaching out to candidates, I'm not getting any feedback, people aren't responding to my voicemails, my emails, my messages, or I get people get candidates on the phone, they're not interested, and I start, obviously, and just like uh, as I've experienced as a job seeker, what all of you tell me about as well, obviously. It's the exact same thing. I feel that same frustration and feeling down and disappointed and disheartened, all of that. And what I realize is that the core issue, whenever I feel myself catch myself feeling that way, I know it's because I don't have a full pipeline. Like I'm not contacting enough people. I'm not reaching out to enough connections. I'm not making enough phone calls. I'm not sending out enough emails. I'm not sending out enough LinkedIn emails. It all comes down to the pipeline, and I hope everybody understands what I mean by pipeline. It's kind of a sales terminology. So feel free to look it up as well on Google or whatnot. But what it basically means, pipeline, is the opportunities that you have in front of you, right? Or the total. What's the term I'm looking for? The total. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. I can't think of a metaphor right now or an explanation, but basically all the opportunities you have, potential opportunities you have to make a sale, right? But in the case of a job search, obviously, what I'm talking about is scoring the job, right? And in the case of on the recruitment side of things, finding a candidate for our clients and making the placement. So whenever I catch myself feeling that way, disheartened, frustrated, upset, it's usually a message. The message is usually that I tell them. I tell that it comes down to is I don't have enough opportunity. I'm not reaching out to enough people. I don't have enough in my pipeline. So usually now in your particular scenario, for those of you watching this, if you're feeling disheartened and frustrated and upset, I first need you to ask yourself: are you making enough context? Or is your pipeline full? Do you have a pipeline of opportunities? And by pipeline, in your case, that would be: have you been sending your resume out for a large number of roles? Are you contacting a large number of people? Are you connecting with a lot of recruiters? Because to a certain extent, it is a numbers game. Don't kid yourself. I know a lot of people like to say, "Well, you should focus on, a handful of opportunities." Yeah, sure. I mean, maybe if you're like a senior person, you're well known in the industry. You have a lot of industry contacts. Maybe you can do that. You can, focus on just a handful of opportunities. But for most of us, myself included, probably, right? As a job seeker, and the strategy I go by is I like to spread my net as far and wide as possible, and then I personally filter through all the opportunities, and I pick out which ones would be the best opportunity for me, right? So that's what you need to be doing. So keep that in mind. If you're feeling disheartened, if you're feeling unmotivated, you're feeling down and depressed, you're not getting responses in your job search, you're not getting the kind of responses you want, you're not getting phone calls, you're not getting interviews, and basically feels like nothing's really turning out for you. Check and make sure that you have a full pipeline of opportunities. Because if you're only applying for like 5-6 roles, and all of those roles come back as no responses or rejections, you're obviously going to feel pretty down, right? You're definitely going to feel really down if you only have those 5 opportunities in your pipeline. Now keep in mind, in addition to all this, what I'm telling you, obviously there could be other components as well that might be preventing you from getting responses, obviously, right? So that could be your resume, it could be the types of jobs you're applying for, it could be the way that you're sounding on the phone or in person. So I'm not discussing those components on this video. I've discussed those in other videos as well, but before you even get to that, make sure you have a full pipeline of opportunities, because if you don't have a full pipeline of opportunities, that might be your core issue, because you need to be sending out your resume to a whole, so you need to be applying for all positions out there that you feel would be a good fit for you, and keep putting yourself out there, keep putting your resume out there, keep applying, keep connecting with recruiters such as myself, and keep putting yourself in front of as many people as possible who are in a position or who could potentially help you either get a job or get in front of a hiring manager or connect you with the right person to get a job, because you do need to be connecting with the right people as well. Now that being said, I connect with everyone, because you never know who someone else might know. So keep that in mind. That balance it. I know some of you say, yeah, well, Dean, my time is important and I don't want to waste my time connecting with the wrong people. Fair enough, I can understand that. So I'd say practice your own good judgment there. I personally want to spread my net as wide as possible. I want everyone to know me, because the more people I know, the more people I can help, and the more people that could potentially connect me with the right people. Because just because you're not in IT doesn't mean I don't want to connect with you, right? That doesn't mean I don't want to talk with you, because there is some information exchange that can take place. I might have some value to add to your job search. You might know something that might be helpful for me. So there's always, the way I see it, every human interaction, for in most cases, I'd say 99% of cases, there is some value being exchanged, right? So that's the way I see it. So that's my 2 cents on why you might be feeling down and depressed and demotivated. Aside from all that tactical stuff that I talk about, check and make sure it's not because you have your pipeline's not full enough. You need to have a full pipeline of opportunities. That way, you're not concerned about not getting a response from one place, because you're getting responses from like a whole bunch of other places. So make sure you do that. And that's my tip for today. So I hope that was of help to those of you who watched. Again, if you don't know me, my name's Dean Clovera. I'm an IT recruiter. If you're based out of Toronto, Canada, in the Toronto area, we're based out of the Yonge and Sheppard area, 10-15 minute walk from Yonge Sheppard subway station. If you want to meet in person, if you're in IT, definitely give me a shout. Let me know. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe to me, all those places. Get in touch with me. Anywhere I can help you at all, let me know. And I hope to keep adding these kind of videos and tips. And I write articles and daily job search tips and advice on Twitter and LinkedIn as well. Any particular topics you want me to cover, let me know. And keep the search going. And keep going through until the end of the week. And hope everybody has a great evening. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.